Hey, good afternoon, Justice Warriors. I am here to do my Cliff Notes with you. It's Friday, TGIF, and it's just almost a quarter after 4. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you have a really good weekend. Let me do my disclaimer real quick. Everything I say is simply my opinion, simply for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. And my videos are all made for YouTube, which is an entertainment platform. So please hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined. Um, Basically, the takeaway from my morning live, and thank you guys so much for your patience. I was having all kinds of trouble with the interweb, so I don't know what that's about. I don't want to be suspicious of no one. But yeah, I have been talking about another case a little bit, huh? The case that I got started with. We won't mention any names. Anyway, the takeaway, one of the things is my curiosity if the criminal defendant may have been distributing marijuana. You know, all that mention of marijuana in the documents that were unsealed yesterday from the Pennsylvania. Um, we know that pot's legal in Washington state, but it's not legal to distribute it to states where it's not legal, obviously. Anyway, moving right along. Kara Canoodle, her other last name is Northington. Kara Canoodle, and I accidentally got it wrong, trying to go off the top of my head. I can't trust that. I'm terrible with names. But you know, never give up trying, right? Never give up the fight, fighting against evil, corruption, all that stuff. We've got a case here in Ohio of a politician from the House of Representatives householder who was arrested almost 3 years ago for a $61 million bribe that he took, and that trial has been underway. It could be wrapping up soon. He could get up to 20 years in prison, but we will see. Um, what he is being accused of is funneling money through dark sources to bankroll his return to power. So, dark money is a thing. There's like books about dark money, but basically, I wanted to give you a quick and easy just definition. It's a sweeping term for nonprofits and for profit organizations that can accept unlimited politicized political contributions without disclosing the donors. So, a lot of winks and nods and texts going on. This is something that probably every university and college is involved with. Um, but, you know, it seems like there's just a lot of suspicion in what's going on with Idaho 4, with the university, with the sororities, with the law enforcement, and of course with Koberger, right? But also Kopaka. Like, what is his connection to any of this, if there is a connection to any of it? Um, it's hard to say. But, I did disclose a lot about my own chemical dependency past in the morning chat, so I won't rehash that. I'm very open about it. I like to share. It's helpful for me, and hopefully it's helpful for other people too. But what I wanted to say in the Cliff Notes is just that codependency is actually the one of the hardest addictions to overcome. So if you have a tendency towards codependency, which I definitely do, just to be in touch with that and to try to understand it. There's support groups for codependency. And basically, it just kind of takes you outside of yourself, and it's good to stay tuned into yourself, right? Um, And, I want to reiterate how much I've been enjoying another channel, J is for Justice. I was just in her chat this afternoon. She's doing an amazing live. That girl covers so much. And, I just think we need to ask a lot of questions about the University of Idaho. I think we need to ask a lot of questions about the police department, not just Moscow, but Pullman PD. Pullman PD is saying that they don't have any documentation of whether or not the position, the assistantship, was ever offered to Koberger. Like, that's not possible that they don't have the documentation unless they destroyed it, which would be illegal. So, also, of course, the Wazoo PD, highly questionable. But I wanted to inject into this real quick too that something I said a couple days ago about the girls, Maddie and Kaylee at the bar on the night of November 13th, that right off the bat, law enforcement was saying, oh, the girls were getting a lot of attention at the bar that night. And I find that very suspicious. I found it strange right up front because girls at bars tend to get a lot of attention from men. That's like what the whole thing is all about. So the fact that they were saying that and saying that a lot, now in hindsight, I'm thinking they were trying to cover for the specific guys that were giving those girls attention that night. So we know one of those guys was Jack D because he was sitting there talking to them in a photograph. A couple of those other guys could have been Adam and Hoodie Guy and the man without a face. And who knows who else? But I think we do need to know who else, or at least law enforcement needs to know. But it is really troubling when you don't feel like you can trust law enforcement. I mean, taking the information to them, if they're in on it, isn't going to do anybody any good at all. So there needs to be a higher trusted entity that can investigate the investigation, possibly just like in the Kylie Rodney case. I don't know. Just an idea, just a suggestion. Anyway, I'm going to sign off and say have a really good weekend. Take really good care of yourself. Relax, have fun, get caught up on any sleep that you might be behind on. That's the most important thing. We all know that, but it's hard to do sometimes. Also, make sure you eat well. Make sure you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and high protein, and exercise and get sunshine and fresh air, and practice being kind to everyone you come into contact with. Practice making sure that everyone that comes into contact with you is kind as well. And just, do your best. That's all you can do. And hope for the best, right? I sometimes feel like I live on hope. So, anyway, I am going to do a live over the weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it tomorrow night or Sunday, but I am trying to do this scheduled like 9:30 a.m. Monday through Friday lives that are somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes, and then doing a quick Cliff Notes version of that live later in the afternoon, just to try to shore things up so that we can all get the most out of our time for our efforts. So thank you so much for watching. Sending you peace, sending you light and love, and thanks again. Take care.